All right, I'm entering both costs studio. Do you make a different website the next one?
No. I like that dad cam.
The mic's
It is a mixtape Monday here on the tipping point with Mike Tipton, Fox Sports 1380. Got my guy Andrew J. Polk hanging out. You can follow him on Twitter at Andrew J. Polk. On Instagram at Talk El Paso. I got our guy Chris Babcock hanging out here as well on the dad cam.
There it is.
You can follow him, the El Paso Herald Post, all the stuff they're doing as well. They've had themselves a busy weekend.
Yeah.
No kidding.
We're busy. Like, listen, isn't it just Friday? Didn't we just finish the show?
I'm going to say, like, it feels like we blinked and the weekend was gone.
Yeah.
Like really that simple.
Absolutely.
I had asked a question out there for everyone that is on the stream, everyone that is out there in Radio Land as well, on the airways of Fox Sports 1380, on the free and reliable iHeartRadio app. What is wrong with the Dallas Cowboys? And already,
how much time you got?
Already, Ruben Venzor saying, what did do? UTEP did it again, doing the normal UTEP thing. Rudy Reyes saying, what isn't wrong with Dallas?
There's
so much.
Yeah, it's not a short answer.
I will say this, though, to answer your question, Rudy. Their punt game is strong. Their special teams know how to cover. They are awesome there. Chris Jones doing an amazing job. Augustine Pimentel already commenting in. You should say I was good for breaking news yesterday. Augustine did come on the show yesterday and broke a little bit of news. As I was doing 3 and Out from home, and that is exactly whenever all the stuff that happened. And, of course, that's something that we're going to talk about here on the Tipping Point of my Tipton Fox Sports 1380 because I honestly don't give a damn about sports whenever it comes to living.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
Yeah, everyone should make that choice. So, like living or going to a football game, I'll take life.
I know some people who want to make that different choice, but I try not to be around them right now. That's for sure.
Oh no, I agree with that 100%. Ruben Venzor saying not even the special teams for Dallas is good.
Ooh, just flaming everything up.
I was going to say, so like he's just ready to blow the entire team up. I did yesterday. I did do that. We'll talk about that coming up here a little bit later as well. Your boy was not happy. Once again, imagine having to MC an event where the team that you're there for scores 3 damn points against a team that doesn't have a name.
Oof.
But that's not where we start right now. We're not even going to do the opening. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's on here in the city of El Paso, some of the rules, in case there are people out there that don't know some of the rules. None better than to have Chris Babcock and Andrew J. Polk here to help break it down for us as well. Chris, I'm going to start with you. What can you let us know about these rules that are in place now?
Basically, this is a return to March and April. We have with now a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Only those that are out for essential businesses are going to work are allowed. During the day, if you are out and about, you need to make sure that you are going out for these grocery store runs, whatever it is. You're going by yourself, don't take a family. It's pretty much common sense stuff. But as the county judge said yesterday on the news conference, he says this is a 90-10% rule. 90% of everybody's doing exactly what they need to do. It's the last 10% that is causing us to take these steps. So, in essence, it really doesn't change much. I mean, we have the 9 o'clock where the restaurants and bars close down. They can only do takeout. But now if you're out at 10 o'clock, here's the key. Any peace officer will be able to enforce these rules. So from the peace officer that drives for one of the school districts all the way up to the DPS, they will be able to give you a ticket. If you are in a situation and they see you and there is not a possibility of 6-foot separation and you don't have a mask, it's $250. If you are found to violate the curfew, if you are out, I don't know, getting your adult beverage on at 12 o'clock and that's not your job, you're going to get a $500 ticket. And that was the big thing that came out of the news conference yesterday, that the county judge talked to the governor. The governor said, hey, you guys aren't really enforcing this. So, step it up. And the county judge says, you got it. We'll do it.
And that was going to be the next question that I wanted to ask, because we've had a lot of these things in place for a while. And all of us drove by places and we're like, it looks like they're not really enforcing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to blame someone, wouldn't you blame that the people who are entrusted to enforce these rules? Because it kind of seems like if they're going to be lackadaisical on it, then that's just going to allow people to say, okay, well, F it, I'm going to do whatever the hell
I will say that, that was something, the one number we've gotten is about 140 citations have been issued for not following the guidelines for businesses. But that's over the last, 6-8 months here, since the orders first came down back in March. And they say, quote, hundreds of warnings, but that's about it. So I think that there is some justifiable criticism of what code enforcement has done. That is something that Mayor DeMargo during the city's news conference 2 weeks ago now said that we are going to focus more on this. But I think we unfortunately are seeing some daylight between the city and the county on this, which was not there before, because the county, Judge Samaniego at the end of last week, even before this weekend, was saying to the governor, please let us know when you're talking about these things, because it does, which leads us to believe they weren't included on this one. So that's not a good sign. But now, County Judge Ricardo Samaniego coming down with this, and I'll say this goes beyond what was in March, because we didn't have a curfew back in March. We all joke about the lockdown, the quarantine, but we were nowhere near either of those terms in actuality. But now we do have a curfew.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And again, everybody, I'm watching the streaming, people are saying it's common sense. Yeah, it is common sense. But you guys remember, we went to school. We get ready to go out and hey, we get an extra 20 minutes at PE.
Mm-hmm.
And there was that one knucklehead in the corner that would like to flip off the teacher when he's not looking. Oh, you're not going out. It's that knucklehead in the corner that now is an adult knucklehead with a couple little junior knuckleheads that didn't follow the damn rules.
And that's like the most heartbreaking part about this is, once again, all it takes is simply just follow the rules. But you're going to have those people out there. And normally I am one of these people. Like, you put a rule in front of me, I'll be like, let's see how far we can push this. Let's see how much you really care about this rule.
As exempted by this show, yes.
As personified by this show. Mm-hmm. But I haven't really done that whenever it comes to like COVID-19.
It's not worth it.
No, once again, my life or going out and having a little bit of fun. You know how much more fun you can have if you survive this and not die? I would say like a whole lot more. Unless, you got big plans up in heaven or something like that. Blanca saying, yes, they need to enforce it. They do not enforce it. Follow the rules, people. We are grown. Augustine saying, it's not just one idiot. There are way too many. And that's like the real sad part about it is they're like, I would like to say there's a handful of idiots.
Oh, no.
But if I may.
You may.
Over this week, I have had to dole out an extraordinary amount of condolences to where I feel like now is starting to fall on deaf ears. And whenever you think about that, like the actual personal impact of it, because prior to that, I think the majority of us didn't know somebody that was impacted by this. And now that circle is starting to get a lot smaller and starting to get around you. I found out my brother in San Antonio did all of the stuff that he was supposed to do back in July, I want to say, tested positive for COVID-19. My brother in San Antonio was like a rabbit. He's got 9 kids. He had to quarantine by himself in his basement. Once again, the stressors that come with all that stuff, for the most part, he was asymptomatic. Augustine is saying, is it natural selection? No.
No, because nothing natural about. We're in the world's worst group project, to take that school analogy one way further, because we got all these people not doing the work and they're relying on the nerds, aka the scientists, to making the vaccine, to come up with the answer to the project before we all fail.
Well, simultaneously saying, telling those nerds, nah, you're an idiot. I don't believe a word you're saying. Like save my life, but don't chastise me for being
fake news. Yeah.
Aye.
Well, once again, aye.
Aye, Brainiac.
Look at this nerd. He's never going to get my phone number.
Way.
We are living like real life idiocracy right now.
Yeah, I'm still happy you saw that movie, but you came at a real on the nose time here, Tip.
I mean, it was like scary realistic for me. I was like, this isn't even 2055 or whatever the hell, or 2550 or whatever year it was that they had. I was like, wow, we fast tracked it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like if only
Project Warp Speed, there it is.
I was about to say,
Oh,
if only they all knew what was going to come down the pipe. They look like geniuses right now. I will say I would vote for Hetra Camacho, Mountain Dew Camacho any day.
Absolutely.
August saying Jim Jeffries takes the train Fitz to the station. Listen to his comedy. Anybody?
I've heard the name, but I haven't listened to him.
Oh, I don't know this.
Well, I know who Jim Jeffries is. He's an Australian dude. Absolutely hilarious. But
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with him.
yeah, way to go, Augustine. That fell on deaf ears.
So wing and a miss.
Yes, big one, big swing and a miss. So what does this do? Like all the stuff, Chris, getting back on track to what it is that we're talking about right now. What does all this do? What does all this mean going forward for like UTEP athletics? For like their next game coming up on Saturday against the University of North Texas. Are they going to have a crowd? Because it seems like what UTEP has done is take like the NCAA model, take the NFL model, flip the double birds at everybody, go on their merry little way and say, we're going to have a crowd.
Well, I think at this point, I mean, when you look at what's going on, first of all, with high school, okay, 2 weeks ago, well, not even 2 weeks ago, all middle school athletics were suspended, done, season's done. Now, today, you have the two largest school districts, EPIC and SIC, saying we are going to put it on a quote-unquote pause until November 8th. I like that idea. I don't know how feasible that's going to be because of the playoffs, and you still have another 3 weeks, so you're going to have to make up at least 3 weeks of games. Nonetheless, with UTEP, because they are a college, because we are in Texas, because Governor Abbott said that pro and college sports can have crowds, can do this. They can have a crowd, but should they? I think at this point it's going to be a presidential decision by UTEP, and talking to Center and everybody down the road. You know, we can have the game, not a problem. They have such great control on the athletes and what's going through. I mean, just the testing procedures that they have to go through to get to practice. Kudos. If we all had that, we wouldn't be in this problem. But now we're talking about fans. We're talking, what is it, 6,500 maybe? Is it?
Yeah.
It's somewhere in that number. You're not going to test them all. You're going to maybe take the temperature. We're out of control here.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't know that they should have a crowd. I know the need for it, but it's going to be difficult.
I mean, but like, and once again, this isn't me just saying, you know, my thing where like the low lying fruit is making fun of UTEP and crowds. Well, like it's not that.
No.
What impact does that crowd really have on UTEP? And I do know like ticket sales at the gate accounts for roughly 70% of what, you know, college sports, college football makes overall in the macro. That don't matter. Like 6,500 fans in a 51,000 seat stadium. That doesn't mean like to me that's not worth it, because then like that is that going to even out with concessions? Like what are you really doing here? And then the question comes up, and I'm glad that you kind of, you know, alluded to this. Who's going to be the one to make the decision on this?
Yeah. Because
I feel like yesterday after all that came out, Jim Center and crew should have came out and basically said no crowd. Like you got to sit back, bite that bullet, and understand what's going on here. Because if UTEP has a crowd, and I am fine putting this out there, if they allow to have a crowd this weekend, that is the most asinine, stupid thing I could have ever thought of them doing, and I will make fun of them relentlessly. Like they think it's bad now. Have a crowd on Saturday, UTEP, and I am bringing a flamethrower to you. Whenever we come back here on the tipping point of my tip at Fox Sports 1380, I might get in the opening tip. Who knows?
Stop making us do serious tipping point stuff, people.
Oh, dude.
It's not supposed to be the show, but you keep making us.
I'm good with it being the show.
I'm fine with it being the show, but it's not supposed to have to be.
Augustine's right, though. Like, there shouldn't be any high school sports, right? Like, they should just...
I mean, we got 2 districts so far. The third one may probably come down before too long, and then the others will probably follow suit.
But that's also the thing, like, Chris launched something really cool this year. For him to be able to say, you know what's best for the kids is to put that on the back burner. Come on, like how many people out there are actually getting paid other than, you know, under the table stuff maybe from high school sports?
Wait, you're getting paid?
I don't even get paid to do this show. Wait, what? That's a sad truth.
No, it's true. And, you know, what I like this Saturday, this Friday show, best one of the season. Good action, good talk, good everything else. If it goes away, it goes away.
Yeah.
I'd like to have some of my people back next year, than have worried about sending somebody out to cover a game and then have them catch it because the ball boy didn't get tested. You know, it's to that granular level. So.
And we've seen it like whenever people spoke about the exponential increase of numbers, we're watching it right now.
Yeah, it's here.
1,400 damn cases. 1,400.
And we've been doing this for 7 months.
Blanca asking if any of us have been infected. I have not. Like I said, prior to this weekend, the only way that I found out about my brother was because of what happened with my father earlier this week, and all of us just kind of having that little heart-to-heart conversation and all that stuff. That's the only person in my circle that I know of that had tested positive. He was asymptomatic, like I said, but he did his part. Well, once again, with 9 kids, that's tough.
Let's see. We've gotten. I don't have it. None of my family has it because we've been on the extended, lockdown since February. So I've been tracking this since November. Because I'm a news nerd. I saw this thing break out where doctors were coming in from China, from these provinces. Hey, we're going to villages that people can't breathe. It's like, okay, something is wrong. Yeah. This was in November, so it was on my radar for a long time. But my family and my extended family, we've all been locked down. And luckily, we live across the street from my in-laws, and then they have to be in lockdown. And then all of my other in-laws, everybody's in lockdown. So it's gotten close. But I feel like that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, we're at 1 degree now. Everybody's going to know somebody that either sick or unfortunately died, and now it's real. It's like now it's real for you.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's what it takes. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, this is what happened. Blanca saying that her cousin died and her aunt passed away from it.
Oh God.
Her mother and brother and her all got it, and her kids got it as well. Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Luckily, Blanca, you're alive, and I'm assuming your mother, your brother, your kids, and all of them are good too. My condolences, though, for your aunt. That is heartbreaking. But it's real. That's the thing that people need to realize is this is real.
Yeah. Yep. And even if 1 or 2 people are dying, that's 1 or 2 people too many because you can prevent this. It's preventable.
Mm-hmm. All right. It's time to get into the sports stuff now.
Maybe.
Oh man. Let me adjust the seat here. Let's do like this.
Oh, there you go. It is the big tipping point with Mike Tipton right here on Fox Sports 1380. Got my guy Andrew J. Polk hanging out. We got Chris Babcock here as well. Michael James commenting on the Facebook live stream. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, how about them?
You sleep through the weekend, bud?
A lot of dumb plays. Dreams coming true this weekend. The big soft D in Dallas. Picks
the
up
softest.
or picks down. And there's still more for us to cover. My goodness, the sports gods blessing us once again here on a Monday, an overreaction Monday, where a couple of weeks ago, Tom Brady was old and senile, and this week is the greatest quarterback of all time yet again.
I think he's answered that question about what are the Patriots without him and what is Tom Brady without the Patriots.
I mean, yeah, it looks like a 3-game losing streak for Augustine's Patriots. Let's see if he's still a fan after this. Mr. I want to talk a mess. They have the same record as the Dallas Cowboys, the New England Patriots.
Oh, I have not heard that put that way. That's
2-5.
That is painful.
And at least the Cowboys still have a chance of winning that garbage division. My God.
Oh, God.
It is the worst. Augustine wanted to ask Blanca, what is the process of donating plasma? Because now after she had her battle with COVID-19, she has been donating plasma as well. So, Blanca, if you can, please let us know what that process is like. I don't want to talk about it, but Andrew, let's go ahead and get into that opening tip. How about them Cowboys? 2-5, number 2 in the division. They lost to the Washington football team, an anonymous team. The Dallas Cowboys lost by 22 points. Upside, they didn't give up their season average of just over 37 points a game.
Yee, no.
I like to focus on the bright side of life. Now they're only giving up 34.6 points a game. Good job, Cowboys. Also, it could have been much worse because they did need a goal line stand that caused a fumble in the first quarter. Otherwise, they would have lost by much more than just 22 points. 25-3, the final score there for the Dallas Cowboys. Andy Dalton goes down with just a horrific concussion.
That hit was criminal.
And it did bring up a question because it was something that I thought of. It was something that Augustine brought up yesterday as well. It was something that kind of made its rounds around all the sports media and all that good stuff. Why didn't any of the Dallas Cowboys players start swinging on old boy that took out their quarterback?
I mean, because, what have been the other? I know he got ejected from the game. Has there been any other action now come Monday here on that guy?
I think he'll get a fine. I don't know if there'll be a suspension. There should be a suspension.
Yeah.
The NFL is weird with their rules. Like, we don't know what happens. And it's Andy Dalton. I don't think the NFL cares too much about Andy Dalton. If it was Dak, I'm sure there would have been some stuff. But if you were listening to any of the gas bags on all of the airwaves earlier today, you would have heard each one of them kind of unanimously go out and be like, oh, why didn't anybody do this? And if that was Dak Prescott, I feel like the entire team would have, beat up Bostic on that.
Yeah, he wouldn't let that stadium walk him.
So is Dak Prescott really the only thing that has held this entire team together? Like, we saw that happen, it translated on the field. Again, I apologize sincerely for thinking that there wouldn't be that big of a drop-off between Dalton and Dak Prescott. They scored 3 points yesterday. Yeah. Your one guy cannot be that important to a complete team.
Also, to add to the S show that has become that, Cowboys defensive coach Mike Nolan just stopped his conference call with reporters because he had Tabasco sauce on his finger and accidentally wiped his eye.
Andrew stole my thunder. I had a joke and everything lined up for that.
I'm so incredulous.
We've all done that. Every single one of us has done that. Our guy Stephen White, Philadelphia Eagles fan, saying he loves it. I want the chaos of Dallas beating Philadelphia next week, just because they'll be tied for first place. I also want Washington to win as well, so that way they'll be tied for first place with a 3-5 record for Washington and Dallas, and a 2-4-1 record for the Eagles, or 2-5-1 record for the Eagles. I need that chaos where all three of those teams are in the mix. The Giants somehow at 1-5 or 1-6 are in this mix.
I was watching the XFL before this whole thing went on.
I miss the XFL.
I was watching the Dallas, the Renegades. What do they call the Renegades? And this is an okay team. They're Cowboys, but they're an okay team for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm thinking they're a pretty good damn team, considering the time and the place.
No, they would have beat Dallas
At this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which XFL team wouldn't have beat Dallas?
I think all of them would have.
Yeah.
Especially the way that Dallas is playing now, completely uninspired, not playing for their team. Nolan is a terrible defensive coordinator. The last time he was a coach in the NFL, his defense was the worst defense in the NFL. And Mike McCarthy said, hey, I want that guy to coach my defense.
Can't even defend his own dang eyesight.
And that's it, too. He took an L to Tabasco sauce out of arguably the worst of the hot sauces.
Yeah.
His ass is out there eating a burrito or whatever the hell during a press conference, forgets that he had Tabasco sauce on his hand, and then puts it right into his damn eye. Honestly, if I had to watch that defense, I would do the same. I would do the same. I just thought of it right now. He has done what every single one of us wishes we could have done, and just gouge our own eyes out with how terrible the Dallas Cowboys defense is.
Eye bleach. Get your eye bleach.
I'm saying that we all blamed Garrett for the whole time, and all this time now it was just the team. Who would have thought Dak Prescott and Jason Garrett were the glue to that team? The clapper.
Damn, yeah.
The glue to that team. My God, they are horrible. They are historically horrible. I was listening to Mike Greenberg a little bit earlier today. Not a huge fan, but I subject myself to stupid things. And he said, and this is the funniest thing, this is why I hate sports radio for the most part. Like, I know I do it. This is why I hate it, though.
Right.
At least I'm honest with everybody. Mike Greenberg said this. The Dallas Cowboys are the absolute worst team in the worst division in NFL history. And then came right out and said, and the Jets are the worst team I have ever seen. Which is it? Like, what is it? Either way, yes, the Dallas Cowboys are terrible. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys are absolutely horrible. I brought this up to a lot of people. Chris, I want to get your thoughts on it. It is time to blow up this entire team and just start from scratch.
Well, they're doing a good job of it on their own. I mean, I don't think anyone has to blow it up.
It's just all injuries now.
It's all injuries. None of these injuries are going to be resolved in the next 3 weeks. So we're already at that critical juncture of the season where you're going to have a Thursday night game, a Sunday night game, and you're going to have Thanksgiving. You have 3 games in the span of a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
If you're healthy going into that period, you're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. But with as many injuries, we're on the 4th string quarterback. I've got a message on my iPhone here saying, please call Dallas. I need a quarterback. That tells you how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're at 5th string quarterback here at this point.
Yeah, just go. If they had people in the stands, they should go to them and say, anyone can throw a football around here, like even for fun.
Hey, I'm a lefty. I don't have a cannon, but I'm very, very accurate. So we've got that going for us.
Let's get you to Dallas.
Saying tank for Trevor time, I would say this. I think you got to work in what you got with Dak. Like you've already seen now, Dak is an elite quarterback. Dak needs to get paid. There's going to be an issue with what Dak you're going to get coming back. Like maybe your Dak won't be as strong as it should be, so maybe you'll need some enhancers or something of that nature. We'll talk about that at another time. But Dak has proven that he is the best option at quarterback right now because Andy Dalton ain't that dude. Ben DiNucci, if I'm not mistaken, Ben DiNucci, I called him DeCooch yesterday. Ben DiNucci played the Sun Bowl for Pitt.
Yep. Backed
up Nathan Peterman. For those of you that don't know, Nathan Peterman threw 5 interceptions in the first half of his very first start with the Buffalo Bills. That guy beat out Ben DiNucci.
And it is worth pointing out that anybody out there on first and second down can pretty much call the Dallas Cowboy book. It's going to go to Zeke.
Yeah.
On second down, it's probably going to go to Zeke. If you can't stick to that and decide you want to throw off your back foot while you're getting your arm wrapped around your head, you're going to get concussed. It's what's going to happen because it's such a simple thing. Even if the coaching staff has brought in this huge, complicated offense and defense, you still have Zeke behind you. Let him carry the load. Get him going for a couple of drives. And then let's talk about maybe deep routes. Maybe they won't, but let's get let's get our footing back. That's what I'm trying to say.
But that's also what they tried to do yesterday against a not great Washington defense, and Zeke was not able to get it going.
But see, and then that goes back to my criticism of Zeke last week. At the point at which Zeke goes down is the point at which Emmitt Smith turned afterburners on. And Zeke is a good player. Don't get me wrong, but he is not an elite back, and that's the problem. We've tried to make him what he is not. He's a short yardage back.
He's Marion Barber light with a lot more money.
Yes.
I would say this before we get to the break right now, and I've been harping on this ever since last Monday. The Dallas Cowboys need to cut ties with Zeke Elliott. The Dallas Cowboys need to trade Zeke Elliott. There will be a team out there that might be able to get you something. I would say if you really want to do it, trade Zeke Elliott to Tampa Bay, get yourself an offensive lineman there to help you out with your line, maybe get a late round draft pick as well to help out with the draft because you're going to need to stock up on this. Trade Amari Cooper and your first round pick at the end of the season to the Jets and get their number 1 overall pick. Do not get Trevor Lawrence. You get help on that offensive line because that is what you need. Tyron Smith is 197 years old. Zach Martin, we don't know what shape he's going to be in whenever he comes back, but you need help on that offensive line because as we've seen, the backups they have in Dallas are not worth a damn.
Nope.
They're so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And the defense is bad.
The worst. Literally the worst.
They kick the hell out of that ball. Chris Jones can. Greg the Leg, Greg Zuerlein, like he's been doing all right.
Yeah.
He got us our only point yesterday. Stephen White saying trading Zeke would be the worst thing besides not playing Dak. What has Zeke done? Someone please, for the love of God, when was the last time Zeke got a touchdown? More sports coming up next.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, man. You want any water or anything, Chris?
I was going to get in right now.
Uh-oh.
So it looks like you and D.
$1
No, it's
the Nigerian prince isn't real.
the city continues to send out, hey, join us for the business kiss ass thing. This one, it's like, really? This is what we're doing.
You just told everybody that they can't do anything, and then you're like, hey, but you know what you can do? Join us over here at this location where we're all going to be indoors around each other. We won't spray anything. We won't take temperatures. You don't even have to wear a mask. The city of El Paso, we hate you. That should be the new motto.
City of El Paso, go after yourself.
Again, we can't hear you, man.
I can hear you.
I know you can hear me, but I have to have everything turned down in here so that way I don't get feedback.
That's what the door closes for.
I just see you pointing. You said something about a door.
Well, the people on the screen can hear me, Dip.
Blanca saying that I should do radio commercials with that voice. We were actually listening today because we had a little bit of a debate earlier when the meat slinging tour kicked off. And I want to say it was late January, early February, right before Super Bowl time, because I remember I bought a bunch of those meats for Super Bowl time. And on their last week, I created a spoof commercial that I really wanted to run where I was talking like this. 30 steaks for $20. Well, or vice versa, whatever. You get the gist. Like that's how I was talking. I was talking like Duff Man. I think I blew out my voice for like a week, man. Duff Man, can't breathe.
Can't talk now.
Come get your ice cold Duff. Augustine saying that you called me a butt wipe?
I did not, but you wouldn't know now, would you?
No, I wouldn't. I told you, man.
You can turn his up then. Like, there's ways to do it, man. I don't know.
There's ways to do it. I'm not going to complicate my life with that.
I just turn it up during the breaks. That's all I do.
You turn what up during the breaks?
The audio coming out of my
What
phone.
is the definition of it?
Point is, you and D need to take that road trip down to Dallas.
Mhm.
You with your tryout, D with their 65-year-old arthritic butt, and make them make the team.
I think I could do it.
That you can both do it.
Just walk on. But D's an Eagles fan.
I don't know. I mean, D's volunteered.
Dude, if I played, come on.
It's that lefty quarterback. Like we're going to see Tua on Sunday. I could be the next lefty quarterback.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's one thing I can't stand, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. They are the absolute worst. Stephen White said, when was the last time anybody has scored a touchdown for Dallas? Monday.
They're going to have to do one of those Dick Vermeil, the Invincible. That's what's next. That's what's next for
You're going to be Kurt Warner. I was doing a sports radio show and just decided to go be a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
Why not?
I would have to do like the Dak hip thrust, though. You know what I mean? Like drop back and then pop the hips. Like drop back, pop the hips. Yeah. I know that's what you want to see, Chris. That's literally all you came here for.
No.
That is it.
You know you've got problems on your team when your quarterback has the same name as a character on Happy Days.
Danucci.
Danucci. Was it Laverne and Shirley? It was one of those.
I've heard that before, yes.
Coming back.
Oh man. That was back in the day. The last gasp of MC Hammer.
That is the Mandalorian of Horizon City, Chris Babcock, joining us here. We got Andrew J. Polk here as well.
Yes, sir.
Myself, Mike Tipton. This is The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, at Fox Sports 1380, myself at Mr. Tipton33, Andrew on Twitter, at Andrew J. Polk, and Chris Babcock from one of his many handles, but we will give out the El Paso Herald Post.
ElPasoHeraldPost.com, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's CBabcock11. It's my racing.
Whoa there, guy. No shameless plugs here.
I have to do a shameless plug.
Want to give a shout out to our friends over at Undisputed Craft House. They had their second anniversary this weekend, so congrats to them turning 2 years old. And Babcock went off the El Paso Herald Post. I need one of those El Paso Herald Post.
I got like a whole box of them now.
This guy, like you've been here 4 times this week and a half.
I've had them right there, and I leave, and it's like, okay, I can get this. I even have my own headset now. I bought.
Oh.
So I was like,
oh wow,
fancy. And I left today and brought everything
left all of it,
except the masks and the headset. So
I MC games. As a matter of fact, yesterday, whenever I was at Undisputed Craft House, people were making fun of me because I was so far away from everyone else. I am taking the social distancing thing real. I was about to turn the table around because it is a 6-foot table and be like, you stay over there.
I'll get a 10-foot ball and I'm going to hit you with it.
I got a good swing, man. That lefty swing's got some power in it. I got everything set up, and as I got everything set up, I pressed play on the music as I was getting ready and then realized I left my microphone at home.
Fuck.
The dumb things. Luckily, I don't live too far away, so saved it. Blanca was saying that we should all dress up for Halloween. I'm thinking we should because it is it's Saturday, but I think we can do the whole show. And but maybe not you though, Andrew, because you got the show before this.
I got something I think I could make the quick change between the shows before.
Okay.
I'm considering. There's a costume I'm considering that I ran it by my youngest son. He goes, "Who is that?" And I was like,
no!
All right, I'm still gonna do it because I'm an old dude, just so crazy references.
So what is the old thing, or is this a surprise?
He orders a Diablo sandwich and Dr. Pepper. Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
Do you get that?
No,
you're the oldest person in this building, and you didn't get that.
Nope.
Well, we will leave Chris Babcock on that. Buford T. Justice. Somebody out there might know. Stephen White saying the problem is that the Dallas Cowboys paid $500 million to DeMarcus Lawrence, Smith, the linebacker Smith, Van Der Esch can't stay healthy to save his life. I don't know if it's necessarily that. Like Van Der Esch has had 2 injuries and they've had extended amounts of time, but Van Der Esch, whenever he's on the field, is a game changer.
Yeah.
The issue that I have with what Mike Nolan has instilled in Dallas is that he's gotten them on like a man-to-man defense, where last year they were better as a zone defense, and it was a see ball, hit the ball type of defense.
Yep.
Where now they've got like a whole bunch of different schemes, and you're not letting these athletes be who they really are.
You can see it when they run up and there's a check.
Mm-hmm.
The safeties are coming up and checking with Van Der Esch. They're saying, okay, are you me, and when you're doing that, you're lost.
Oh yeah,
you're already burnt.
And you saw it a lot on offense too, because you'll look over whenever Andy Dalton's doing an audible. The weirdest one that he did was the the little chest thing that he did yesterday a few times, which I had a little issue with. You couldn't see it because of the comment. It was like this. I don't know what this is. It seems to be a play that just doesn't work for Dallas, so maybe change that up a little bit going forward. Also, Andy Dalton kills every play at the line. Did you notice that? Every single play at the line, and kill.
He's got to be seen like a ghost in the defensive backfield, like some sort of specter that's spooking him. Like, Speaking Jones,
it's a ghost. Oh.
It's the ghost of whenever he was good.
Can there be ghosts of things that never existed?
Andy Dalton was good. For a week and a half, Andy Dalton was really good. Well, the question that I wanted to ask everyone out there is okay, we got news over the last couple of days in the NFL of some stuff that was going on, where Tua Tagovailoa is going to be starting for Miami now, so Ryan Fitzpatrick is on the bench. Cam Newton today just got benched in favor of Jason Stidham. I'm Dallas,
the movie star.
Yes. Hey, I think I'm about it too. Every time I see him, though, I think of one movie only, and it's because I love my son that I actually watched the stupid movie Megalodon, and like he plays the same guy, and he just looks into this into the camera slowly. And he's like, "It's a Megalodon," and I was like, "You got paid a lot of money for that." I could do that. I could also be like, "I have a set of skills. I will find you, and I will probably do nothing."
I would stare at you for a long time and make you feel uncomfortable briefly.
I will flip you off in the car as I drive by you.
I want to write dirty things about you in my diary.
Oh, nice. Anytime you bring out the diary, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Augustine's saying that he recommends the 1380 Facebook. There are no subtitles. Once again, I put up a thing where you could take the subtitles away yourself.
Yeah, this is on you, Augustine.
Learn technology there, old guy. But if you're the Dallas Cowboys, do you target one of those two quarterbacks? Like, do you want to try to get Cam in there? Because I feel like if you have a quarterback that gives you a threat to run, like Cam Newton can, it might be able to help you establish Zeke a little better and gives you that value that you need from that running back. Because right now, Zeke averaging 2 yards a carry ain't worth it.
You've got to do something to get the backers to check off and back off and give your line a little bit of time for contact. And quite frankly, Newton does that. I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick does, to be honest with you. And I think that's why he's benched.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and this is the craziest thing about Ryan Fitzpatrick, is on 2 back-to-back blowouts, the San Francisco or the Miami Dolphins, prior to Ryan Fitzpatrick beating the San Francisco 49ers a couple of weeks ago, and then prior to beating the Jets a couple of weeks ago, hadn't scored over 40 points and hadn't blown out opponents in back-to-back games in the last 2 decades. Think about that. There is some magic with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know what it is. He's been in the league for 17 years. It feels like he's never played a playoff game, which is just asinine to me. But I think there's something there. I would go more towards Cam, though, because I feel like Cam Newton, if you actually give him some weapons, he doesn't have any weapons in New England. There's literally nothing there. If you got him Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, who, by the way, just dropped a lot of balls yesterday. If you have a fantasy like I did, 0.2 points. 0.2. That's what I got out of CeeDee Lamb yesterday.
Whoops.
I won somehow. I won. Thank you, Todd Gurley, for your terrible, terrible decision. He's done that well before. We'll talk about that coming up as well. But if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you have to be really salivating right now because those are some viable options at quarterback. Maybe even Jameis Winston. Do you trade to New Orleans to get Jameis Winston? I would say you trade to the AFC so that way you don't got to face whoever the hell it is that you trade away.
Again,
that's true.
If you look at the quarterbacks that are out there available that have been benched, and you look at where they're at in their careers, it's Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just no. He's going to give you the rest of the season. Will he give you 3 years? Don't know, but he will give you the rest of the season as that season unfolds. He wants to redeem himself. That was New England. New England was redemption. New England, the cupboard is there.
Yeah, there's nothing there. They don't have an offensive line, but at least Dallas, who also doesn't have an offensive line, has some weapons. Yeah. Cam Newton was by himself, and Julian Edelman's 5'2". There's not a whole lot to do there. I will say this though, this experiment between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick is looking a lot like it was Brady, man.
Yeah.
Early, but it is not looking good for Bill Belichick.
What was that headline? Worst loss in ever?
I'm about to say, once again, the first 3-game losing streak since 2002. Tom Brady's second year in the league when he had a sophomore slump. The first time that they've been this far under 500 since 1999.
Wow.
This team is not good in New England. Meanwhile, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are looking really damn good. They won that game yesterday by a lot of points, and Mike Evans had 2 catches for 37 yards. And they just got Antonio Brown.
The only thing left for Tom Brady to do down there is for them to bring back the creamsicle uniforms and just blow somebody out wearing those unis and get rid of that curse.
Oh, yeah. Tom Brady can, too.
Of course.
Imagine this, though. There's a real possibility for the name of Titletown to be in Tampa Bay. All we need are the Rays to win the next 2 games, and then Tampa Bay to be the first team to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium. It could happen.
That's a distinct possibility at this point.
It's always a possibility with Tom Brady. Half his career, he's been in the damn Super Bowl. More sports coming up next. Half his career. Half of it.
See, this is the time that I get to look at all those Patriots fans that bought all those Patriot uniforms, and it's like, so now you know how the Patriots felt in the 1970s and the 80s.
Oh yeah, no, they're back to where they were.
Yeah, this is a rapid drop.
Well, like the Drew Bledsoe things, like brought them back to being something.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady, just the longevity of him had him there.
Yeah.
But this is what that team always was. Like at least like the Cowboys, like even though they had like those stints in the 80s, they were still a decent team.
Wow.
Now they're going back to where they were in 1960. Blanca was asking which one of us is on the Fox Bet Million.
Oh,
The Terry Bradshaw thing. Like I don't do that. She said she missed it by 3 points though.
oof. I follow it, but like I said, you got to be really committed to it. Like my son is all into fantasy football. It's like, you guys, I said, I got to do stuff.
Yeah.
I can't figure it.
The funniest thing is like I'm in 4 fantasy leagues, and 3 of them are like 4-3, 3-4, like right there. My main one that I care about is my ESPN one because that's me going up against the people I used to work with at ESPN. 6-1. I haven't lost a game since week 1. Your boy is on fire. I have Patrick Mahomes and Alvin Kamara. And then Drew Brees and Baker Mayfield on my bench.
Oh my god.
Everyone laughed at me whenever I got a whole bunch of quarterbacks, but that's trade bait, baby. Especially now.
Yep.
Blanca saying that you're quiet today, Andrew. What's wrong?
You can't hear me.
See, there I heard you.
I don't know what you did differently then.
I guess it's because like you had to yell for me to hear you because I didn't hear whatever you mumbled there.
I am talking normally.
See, now I can't hear him again. It's weird, man. It's hit and miss. I'm sorry, Andrew. I know it's a sore point. I'm sorry. Maybe I should bring like another set of headphones and plug it into my computer specifically for that so that way I can hear you during the breaks.
I'm just trying to kill the echo. Really?
I wish I knew what he had said, too, because I feel like he just cussed me out.
See, we
Your
need to
mother
turn-
was a hamster.
Gosh.
I know, right? I need to put the closed captioning on the one thing that Augustine hates I need to have. It's been a good show.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we're coming back. Way to warn me. He probably did. I just didn't hear him.
Oh. Oh.
It is the tipping point of my tipping right here on Fox Sports 1380. Every day is a good day whenever you get to listen to this show.
Absolutely.
We're getting you ready for Monday Night Football. The Bears and the Rams, arguably the most lackluster game outside of the Cowboys and the Washington football team and the Eagles and the Giants.
I was saying, there's been a lot of lackluster going on, Tim.
Somebody had to win,
That's true.
and it's in that division. That division now, 7-21-1
Oh,
collective.
those wouldn't be bad hands of like blackjack, but otherwise,
They're so bad.
yeah.
And someone's going to win and host a playoff game. That is sacrilege, man.
God bless whatever that city is.
We could talk about UTEP here. We could talk about Tom Brady and how people have been overreacting, the same with Baker Mayfield. Or we can talk about the World Series. I will leave it up to y'all, Andrew and Chris. What is it that you would like to talk about?
I love baseball therapy. I don't care that it's the worst ratings in the world and nobody's watching. It's baseball.
If people aren't watching, they've been missing a hell of a series. Like, all these games were close.
Yep.
The way Game 4 ended, like you heard it in the montage earlier in
Oh,
the
God
show.
bless, yeah.
The way that game ended was just it was perfect. Like, you cannot think of anything better. Like, you got to see a grown man revert to being a little boy again because he was living like his little league dream, getting a walk-off hit in the World Series. The only thing that would have made that better if it was Game 7.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And I mean, you just saw like a grown team, and this is how baseball can humble you real quick. A grown-ass man team revert to little leaguers again because they couldn't get the ball.
I mean, this is baseball at its best, and I would say it's purest. And yeah, if you're ever going to watch it, you should watch it now.
Again, it's one of those situations where a lot of fans, don't like LA, don't really know about Tampa Bay. I'm kind of a Tampa Bay fan, number one, because I just don't like LA, Boston all the way. But we've got Chihuahuas on that team.
Yeah,
and
we got Hunter Renfroe and Manuel Margot,
and they are producing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sitting out there, and when we watch it, I say, hey, it's Chihuahuas outfield right now. Let's watch it.
Mhm.
It's from a pure sports point of view. It's like Manchester City and Chelsea. You're going to stop and watch it. You're going to watch these games because they are on the air and they are pure sports.
You might stop and watch those games. I won't. But yeah, like that tie where you have the El Paso Chihuahuas connection. Like I can see why El Paso would be into it.
Yeah,
I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of shocked that you, as a Boston fan, are pulling for Tampa Bay when they're in your division.
I am, because I'm still. I really honestly believe at this point we're going to have the curse of Mookie, and I'm not going to see another World Series victory in my life.
Oh no.
I mean, hey, it was around the same time frame.
It was 1919. We sold Babe Ruth. He took off, and that was it for 86 years. My grandfather lived and died and never saw a Red Sox championship. I now have, I've got a handful, so I'm good.
That's what I wanted for every Cubs fan.
Yep.
Forever. I saw 5 Yankees championships in my time. I'm a happy man.
And this is why everyone hangs that Yankees tip. I got to tell you.
I've seen 5 Spurs championships in my lifetime as well. I've seen 3 Dallas Cowboys championships. I'm old.
Yeah.
I could die like a happy man. I just want Dallas to win one more. Please, for the love of God.
It'd be nice.
I'm trying to explain to my kid what happens when the Cowboys win. I was like, you can imagine your high school team winning and everybody going out and honking the horns and writing Dallas Cowboys win on your car. For 3 days, that's what it is. He can't. There's no conceptualizing. He doesn't understand how the seismic event that a Cowboy Super Bowl is.
I want to say 12 years old. I was 11 years old the last time the Dallas Cowboys won a championship. I was 7 whenever I saw them do that in 1992.
Mm.
I want, for the love of God, just like, if it's not in my lifetime, in Jericho's lifetime, please win a championship for him. He said yesterday, and I feel so bad for him at times because he is like a hardcore Dallas Cowboys fan. Doesn't care about any other sport. Hardcore Dallas Cowboys fan, as Blanca calls me, a total sports geek, which, yes, I am. And that's the funny thing. Like, I could make this show all about like stats, and I do not do that because it is not fun for anybody, including myself. Although I will nerd out like hell with all those stats.
Yeah, but it's like work.
Yeah, well, not even, man. A lot of them are just up there. You can like recall random things.
You're pretty encyclopedic.
But Jericho yesterday simply asks Destiny, who were the Dallas Cowboys playing? Because he didn't see anything. He just saw W. It's the first time he's ever seen that.
Oh, that's true.
Like, oh, well, that's Washington. And he's like, well, Washington. And she told him the former name. Like, oh, yeah, they don't have a name. They shouldn't win. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a good sign. And he promptly, once again, as the Dallas Cowboys, just getting it handed to him. He hates anything that beats the Dallas Cowboys with like a passion of a million suns.
The letter W was canceled.
I was about to say, I wouldn't be surprised if yesterday he consciously did not use words with W's in them. Like he went to the source and was like, all right, how can I find a way to say this differently? Because that's just how he does it. He hates whenever the Cowboys lose. And like, I didn't teach him that. I made it a point. Like, I've told people a bunch of times, like, if he became a Red Sox fan, I wouldn't be happy, but that's the team that he falls to because you don't pick the team you love.
Yeah, he's out of the will, but he's still my son.
I love you. I just don't like you.
My son, he started out because he grew up when Cam Newton was with Cam Newton and the Panthers were really just rolling. And I was like, he goes, well, how come you like the Cowboys? I said, Cowboys versus Colts. I grew up with them. It was one of those things where he just got indoctrinated without anybody else. You watched him,
yeah.
And it's the best. And now he's a Cowboys fan, and now he flings the 4 words just as freely as I do when they don't win.
The 4 words that get me kicked off the airwaves.
Yeah, yep. Exactly.
Imagine how many alcoholic drinks I had to have yesterday to get through this. I do, though, before I let the show get to an end here, I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine that I got to meet yesterday for the first time. Listens to the show on the airwaves all the time, so I'm very appreciative of that. Actually, and the way that I know that he actually listens to the show on the radio itself is because he mentioned the show that comes on before this one, and I don't think I've ever mentioned it before. Like not ever. Like I don't even think Andrew knows.
I straight up don't know what the show before this is.
That the show before us is called Straight Out of Vegas with RJ Bell and Jonas Knox.
You could be lying to me, and I would not know right now.
You see that weenie in the butt. That's pretty much it. Because we have no idea.
But that is what the show is. It is Straight Out of Vegas with RJ Bell and Jonas Knox. And he said, I listened to you right after Jonas Knox. And I was like, oh my God, this guy actually listens on the AM radio.
I mean, kudos, yeah.
I want to give him a little bit of love here. His Twitter handle is @unknowns241. So @unknowns241. He bought me way too many shots yesterday, and I forgot his name.
Oh God.
Yes. I apologize.
I kind of that night, huh?
Oh my! I needed him.
Yeah, that's true.
I said at halftime because Undisputed has a great special at halftime, $2 Ornito, $2 fireball shots. That was going to be the only way I get through this game, and they did not disappoint. There's a reason why I sound like this right now.
Hey guys, this is David. This is so bright. Mike Sifton.
I mean, not even that, man. Like it's just I'm not going through the stressors of making my voice sound lighter and pleasant for people. This is me at my like Hulk Hoganist.
You better believe it, brother.
Now let me tell you something, brothers. So that's what it is. But yes, thank you once again for him going out there, actually impressing me that somebody out there listening on AM radio. I am a complete AM radio nerd. I did want to talk a little bit about UTEP's loss to Charlotte. They look so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
Charlotte Ray?
They were good until half, and then the third quarter and fourth quarter happened, and my God, like it was a UTEP we all know and love. Oh no, they don't deserve that. They don't deserve their music being played on my show. Not right now. Not after losing like that to Charlotte. After I said that they were being disrespected by Vegas by having a 14-point like dog there. What was the final score? It wound up being like 17, right? Like they lost by that much.
Something like that, yeah. It was a 14.5 is what the spread was, I believe.
Yes, and once again, like if, to me, that's disrespectful. And I went to bat for UTEP. And the one time I actually go to bat for UTEP, they do this to me. Out of all the things.
They'll always break your heart.
Yeah, no, they laid an egg. They got North Texas coming up, though, so I'm hoping they could right the ship. I am hoping, against all hope, that they get that elusive fourth win of the season. It will be a total of 1% of all their wins of all time. I need that to happen in 2020.
Well, they actually did cover the spread here, so there you go.
They did?
Yeah, it was a 10-point difference, right?
Well, I didn't see the final.
28?
Yeah, 38-28.
Hey, they covered the spread, so I'm not so much of a jerk. They just looked bad there for quite some time. Everyone, I want to thank you so much for tuning in the show. The Odd Couple coming up next. Gentlemen, as always, it was a pleasure.
It was fun.
Everybody out there watching, I hope it was good for you too.